Hey Kong Fam, so here's our next project. Captain Marvel number 44. And the reason why I chose this, overall there's not a lot wrong with this book. It's got a little bit of a tear here at the top, but the corners all look really good. There's no other really tears or anything. A little bit down here. But the main thing is this staple rust. So that is why we're picking this book. This is from 1941, so pre-war. Beautiful. Pages have a really nice color to them, slightly tan, but not brittle or anything. Just a really well preserved book. Like I said, the main thing wrong with it is that staple rust. Now, what's good is, if you notice, that staple rust does not come through to the inside. And when we get to the centerfold, and this is another one of those thick books, once we get to the centerfold, we'll see that the rust also doesn't come all the way through to the other side of the staples. So, shouldn't be too difficult of a project since that rust is just on the surface of the front part of the staples. But we are going to work on trying to remove the rust stains from the cover. So that is the main reason why we've picked this book, is to focus on that. Now the rust, there's chapter 23. Now the rust on the staples should not be a big issue. We can easily remove that with our Evaporust. So we'll just pour a little bit in a cup, drop those staples in, leave them about 4 hours, which is what's suggested, and take them out and wipe them down, and that'll be no problem. There's something that has been laid on top of this book here that's left a stain. We'll see if some of that comes up. It may not. I did do a dry clean, just a quick one across, just to get off some of the main dirty areas. Now it is if we're going to use a surfactant, it is better to try a dry clean after you have used the surfactant and let it dry, things like that, because the surfactant will actually loosen up the dirt and it'll be easier to remove. But I don't know. I'm up in the air if we're going to use the surfactant or not. Like I said, the book is really nice, except for the rusty staples and the rust that has shown up on the cover. So anyway, it'll give us a chance to practice a little bit and see if there's anything we can do with it without harming the book. Like I said, the book is in such great shape. We don't want to harm the book. I would rather leave the clean the staples, leave the rust markings on the book itself, rather than chance damaging the book, because it's just so beautiful. So, all right, that is our project, and we'll get started. So much variation you have with these staples. Look at how long the legs are on this one. The legs are almost touching versus here where they're not. Definitely not like modern books. Now, since I do know, and these staples aren't that rusted, but be really careful with rusted staples. I've had legs pop due to the weakness from the rust. I've had also staples just completely disintegrate when you touch them. So be really careful. Really pay attention to the amount of rust, the amount of damage on your staples. I'm planning on reusing these, but there could be some staples that are just too far gone. So you need to think about sourcing some replacement staples, or you can follow Dr. Paul's video where he actually remade some staples. Okay, we're going to lay them in the same direction, and since I'm going to be cleaning these, I want to make sure that there is enough of a difference between the two staples that I know which is top, which is the bottom, and then which is top, which is the bottom. So I'm taking some pictures. One of the main things I can see is, like I said, the legs are a bit longer on the bottom staple, and then the longer leg is at the bottom of that bottom staple. The top staple, I have this more of a curve on the bottom, so I'll know which side is up for that one. Okay. We're going to drop these in here. Take our Vaporust gel. And that's what you want to do, is coat them. And I swish it around for about a minute, and then I set it aside, and we will come back about 4 hours later and see how we did. And like I thought, the rust isn't super bad. We do see it, and we can definitely see it right there in the white. Now, and we have a little bit of a tear seal we need to do here. But we're going to reinforce this spine and reinforce the staple areas and stuff. Alright, let's check in on our staples here. It'll be hard for the camera to pick up, but the rust is gone. Yeah, it's just left this nice darker patina. Now, you're not going to turn them shiny or anything through this process. All right, I think we're pretty happy with that. Find that cotton around. All right, biggest thing is we'll make sure we got all of that Vaporust off of there. And then you can reuse this. So just pour it back in. I'm always a little cautious about like washing them, because you know then you're getting moisture back or water back to the staples to rust again. So that cotton round was slightly wet or damp, and so just want to make sure the evapor rust is gone. So we gave our book a first press. I'm trying to get it out of the press. All right. Looks a lot lighter. We did see a little red come up in the wash, but as Paul likes to say, these Golden Age books have ink to spare. I'm not sure if we've lightened that, but I don't know. It doesn't look as bad to me now after us, you know, giving it a clean and a press. Great snap. So I think putting in those fresh staples will be fine. Probably will cover a lot of that. So, and that's what I wanted to look at, was that before we moved on to doing the tear seals and stuff. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but I feel like I should kind of leave it there. I don't want to chance harming the book, because so great as it is. So I think we'll just do a few tear seals, a little bit of reinforcement, and call it done. All right, confam. So here is, after the final press of our Captain Marvel. She looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. We did our tear seals on the inside. Yeah, cover looks amazing. Can't tell if we lost any ink or not from the wash. But, and you know, these, a lot of these have this kind of dull looking cover, but it still has great shine to it. Lightened up the back really nice. And the staples are definitely clean, and just like I was hoping, is you kind of lay them right over the where the rust was on the paper. You can barely tell. You can tell a little bit here, but these staples are really thin, especially once we remove that rust, and they were a little bit difficult to get put back in. We got the spine roll. There was a little bit of a spine roll at the top that we definitely got removed. The inside is miscut. Everything is laid really nice. But if we look inside, that is not a spine roll. That's just the way it was miscut, because the staples are centered. But yeah, feels amazing, looks amazing. There's a little bit of Tengujo here, Tengujo there. I'm not sure if you can really even see it. I have difficulty seeing it. But yeah, looks great. I did not worry about these little tear seals at the top. They were so tight up against the corner there. And the main thing we were wanting to work on with this book, of course, was the staples and the rust. And I think we did. We'll do a before and after. And I think we did lighten that rust a little bit. Again, that is red-ish rust. And I do know from experiments that Peter and I have done with Evaporust that it doesn't work so well with red and brown rust. So probably couldn't have removed it anyway. Probably could have done a little bit of reinforcement on this center fold, but it is holding. And you know, there's a few little tears here and there. But what do you expect a book this old? Out your Captain Marvel decoder and see if you can figure out the words. Where will evil Mr. Mind strike next? Get out your secret decoder. So yeah, very nice. And you know, the deal is conservation, right? Is you do what is right by the book. I wasn't going to overly try to remove this pencil mark. Some red was coming up, so I did lighten it a bit and then left it. The rust on the staples would have just kept migrating and damaged the book further. So that was the point of the conservation, was to get rid of that rust so it doesn't cause any more damage. The rust damage was mainly to the cover. Of course, we washed it and deacidified it with our calcium hydroxide, so we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, otherwise, you know, like I said, the only real problem had was the staples are really thin. So it did cause a little bit of problems getting reinserted. So, hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Going on this journey with me with our Captain Marvel Adventures number 44. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell anytime you want to see any more conservation, unboxing, just whatever I decide to put up. And with that, I'm saying peace, love, and comics. Thank you all. Bye.